favorite soap of the month, y'all. My favorite soap of the month. And that's why I saved it for very last. Also because it's now November and it's applicable. Hi there, my name is Katie Carson. I am the Duchess of Suds here at Royalty Soaps. I'm so happy to have you here, whether you are already a member of the royal court or looking to join. Please don't hit the subscribe button until you've actually watched this video and have decided whether or not this content is for you. It's so silly to ask people to subscribe to your video before they've even watched it. Like, how do you know they're gonna like what you have to offer? They just subscribe and then they hate the video. Now they just have to unsubscribe. That's worthless. Subscribe after the video, please. If you like it. I have been asked for eons to make a birthstone soap. I really have. And don't think that I don't read all of the comments with suggestions down below. I do read them. I keep them in a running little list on my computer, all the ones that have been mentioned multiple times. And birthstones is something that y'all have said just, again, multiple times. So that's why I'm finally doing it. I thought this was a really good month to start with because birthstones for November are so beautiful. Citrine and Topaz are just stunning. The embeds that Shelly made are marvelous. So without further ado, let's make this soap. All right, my little November babies, I hope I do you proud with this soap. We're gonna begin by pouring our lye water solution into our oils. It's so clear today, Kenneth, you would think I was adding just water.
I certainly hope it is not just water.
He's going, what? Hope so. That is not instilling confidence. Okay, so putting our pink stick blender into our bucket of oils and our lye water solution, we're just gonna blend this up on high for about 15 to 20 seconds. I've split off about 25 ounces into these two containers, and we're going to add some poppycock mica from Mad Micas, which is such a fun word to say. It is the perfect copper color. And then we're gonna add a little bit of black oxide into this one. So we're gonna have a copper and a black, and this copper is really sparkly. So let's just blend this in with our spatula. We might blend it with the stick blender a little bit later on. The fragrance oil we're using today is Nectarine and Mint. It is a lovely scent. I did use it, I believe it was last year, to make its very own Nectarine and Mint soap, which was gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Woo! It's so sparkly. That is one of the sparkliest, like, regular micas I've ever used. Let's blend in that fragrance oil real quick. Okay, so the soap is really runny thanks to that fragrance oil. So I'm gonna let it sit for about 2 minutes or so, and then we're gonna pour it into our brambleberry molds after this quick commercial break. I'm gonna start by pouring in some of the black, and it's at the perfect consistency. Kenny had it at the exact right temperature, and then I blended it a little longer so that we have, well, the perfect consistency. You can soap at a variety of different temperatures, but depending on the outcome that you'd like, you may want to soap a little hotter, a little colder. Just gonna pour this next layer round and round. I do not remember exactly how I came up with this color palette. I'm pretty sure I was looking at some sort of picture online that had to do with old temples. I don't remember exactly what. It might have been in Morocco.
When are we gonna get to vacation to Morocco, Katie?
For real! I would love to go to Morocco. Oh man, talk about inspiring. I'd probably come back with like 50 designs from that trip. There we go, Kenneth. We just need to go and write it off as a business expense. Katie needed inspiration. Let's go to Morocco. I have here my popsicle stick, and I am going to very strategically shape this soap. I'm not gonna make very many indentations because I don't want those colors to just blend up completely. You can see these spikes here, they're very prominent. We're gonna try to leave those where they are. This is just to add a little bit of variety to the soap. I wanted to do something a little different. I want the blue on top to be just sitting pretty on the top. Kind of come into a peak in the middle. I might kind of shape this a little bit more later on, but I don't want it to be perfect. That is a big thing. I want this to be a little more random. All right. Now I'm taking a little bit of Aztec Gold mica. We're just gonna kind of put that on the peaks of the soap. This is gonna make a little bit more of a defined line, even though the difference between the blue and the copper and the black is already gonna be quite striking. Do the same down these little peaks over here. This is such a fun part to watch, and I might even come in with a little bit of 24 karat gold to fill in the spots that haven't been filled in yet. To the rest of the soap, I am adding some Aphrodite blue. It is so beautiful. It's just past a sky, but a little more potent than a sky blue. Those are typically pretty pale. I am going to pour some of this off after I've blended it and add a little titanium dioxide to it so we get just a touch of a swirl. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this blue accent into the soap. Got a little ITP swirl going on in there. And then to make sure that I get into all those little cracks I created, I'm actually gonna pour some of this soap off, just like so. Be sure to make a mess while you're doing it. And now I'm gonna pour it into my brambleberry molds. So these have been gilded. Now I'm gonna pour the blue into all the cracks. Just make sure that it's filling everything, that there's not gonna be any air bubbles. And then after this first pour, I'll tap it down. The same over here. Make sure it's getting into all the crevices. Come back in, I filled it up again a little more. And I'm pouring pretty close, so any lines of pale blue won't be very disturbed. All right, everything's been covered on that one. Come over here and do the same on this side. This is so pretty. I love the gold. Glad we decided to add that in. And very quickly, I'm gonna do a punctured mica line. So we're just gonna put some gold in here. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be even, because we're gonna puncture it with the next layer. All right, so this is gonna break through. You can see there, I'm breaking it all up. Gonna put some more gold. This won't show up very much, just forewarning, foreshadowing. Right, puncture it again with this next layer. Not very much this time. Super cool. We're gonna mix up the soap frosting now, pipe the top, and then put on those super cool embeds. So using this nice Atico fluffy tip, I'm going to put a row on, then I'm gonna dust it with glitter, put a mica drizzle of that poppycock copper, and then we're going to do it again. And then the final dollop I will leave undusted so that it really stands out. Every time I do a soap this color, which is a slightly off-white, it's about 1 tablespoon of TD per pound of oils. It makes the perfect vanilla buttercream color, and it really does look like frosting. So let's put a drizzle now of that poppycock color, tie that in. It's gonna sink into the soap, and the soap is gonna absorb the oil and leave the mica on top. It'll be very pretty. I know that after I do this, everyone is gonna say, do a birthstone soap for every month. And that got requested about 2 years ago, and I very steadily received comments on me doing that. I think the only reason I've shied away is because some months would be so much more difficult than others. You know, sapphires, garnets, rubies, those are all pretty easy, but there's some that have very just very specific kind of rare stones that I don't know that much about, so I'd have to do my research and I'd have to get creative, but I might be able to do that in 2020. I'm gonna go ahead and put this next layer on. That one's done, so let's put another layer of gold and the copper. Ooh, this looks so nice. I can't wait to put some of that gold digger glitter on top too. I think that's really gonna pull it all together with both the citrine and the blue topaz stones. I will tell y'all, at the time of filming this, we have already designed and picked out a whole bunch of soaps for both next year. We of course have already designed and picked out all the soaps for the rest of this year. With cold process soap making, you have to work out pretty far in advance for those of y'all who are new around here, because these soaps have to sit for for 4 to 6 weeks. Whoopsie.
Ooh.
There goes my last melon. Here are the natural tumbled citrine stones that I have. They have a little bit of amber in them. They look really sparkly, and then there's a little bit of like a milky, cloudy color that's like firecrackering into the copper, and it looks so lovely. We're gonna put a big fella right here to cover up Mama's mistakes. These are huge stones. They're so big. They're gonna add so much weight to these bars. I'm always like conflicted to which side I should be showing of the stones because they look so pretty that I'm like, this side, up, down, I don't know. You November babies have some beautiful birthstones. Whoa, someone's getting a big one. This is a big one right there. Kenneth, I am shook.
What is shaking you, baby?
This looks so much better than even I thought it would.
It does look lovely. And very autumnal.
Yes, my own illustrations worry me sometimes. But y'all, now the actual citrine is beautiful, but look at these natural topaz embeds that Shelly made me. They have real gold leaf in them, and I cannot tell you how beautiful they are. Kenneth, how did you not tell me about this?
What? Don't blame me. How did you not notice it?
It's mainly my fault. Yes, each soap will have 2 of these on there. Now, of course, I did look at getting actual stones, but raw, uncut blue topaz was not in the royalty soaps budget. Her coffers could not afford such a luxury.
Look at that price.
However, I think that the alternative is just as nice and people will appreciate the cost of the bar isn't like $100 a piece. I've got some little baby ones here, some little big cute ones. I got some big ones. We're gonna stick in all the things. So you can see there's a little bit of oil on these. I've obviously touched it with some oily gloves, but as soon as I spritz it with rubbing alcohol, it has the same sort of effect that putting a varnish on a resin piece that's been sanded does. You can see it clears it right up and makes it really easy to see the inside. I'll do it again on this side for you guys so you can see how pretty those embeds truly are. So I'm gonna put a teeny tiny bit of glitter on top, not a whole bunch because obviously there's a lot going on top of these bars. They really don't need too much. I'm just trying to get any little bit of the soap that maybe doesn't have the copper on it or doesn't have some of the gold dust. And then we're gonna wait 18 to 24 hours and we'll come back, we'll chop up these bars and take a look at the inside after I photograph them. Okay guys, so for the citrine and topaz soap loaf, I'm going to have to cut it using my single bar cutter because the rocks on top are just too big. They're a little bit too awkward. For those of y'all who are new to soap making, I highly recommend getting one of these. They're a lot less expensive than the multi-bar cutters that I use. I have to make a lot of soap because this is my business, but if you're doing this as a hobby or you're just getting started, the single bar wire cutter is the way to go. I will leave a link to the one that I have right here in my studio. I will also leave a link to the one from Workshop Heritage, which lots of people also enjoy and is also very affordable. I cannot express to you how much I love this soap. I love it so much. Oh, this makes me want to make even more. Should I make more? Maybe that will be the question of the day. Should I make more Birthstone soaps? Ooh. Okay, so I really love that one, but I'm gonna cut one more. Okay, so you can see the copper and the black swirl that we made little divots in, and then the blue swirl. This looks very similar to Blue Tide, just a little more like baby blue. And then there are little streaks of gold in there where I just pat, 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 dumped the next layer on, pat, 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 dumped the next layer on. It was very, very haphazard, and it makes those really cool lines. And then of course you can see the copper bits in between here. And then on top we have the gold leaf and aqua citrine diamonds and the actual citrine stone on top. It also smells really good, very fresh. Okay guys, I'm gonna make that the question of the day. Do you guys want to see more birthstone soaps? And to my November babies, how did I do? Do you think that this captures November? Do you think it captures your birthstones pretty well? Y'all let me know by clicking the I in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Also, I have been waiting the whole loaf to cut this one. This is my favorite piece of citrine. Oh my gosh, I'm dead. I'm dead. Y'all, do you love it? I hope you love it as much as I love it. This soap will be available for all you November babies or people who are buying for November babies. Today, November 2nd at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Just based on past history, any soaps that have stones or crystals on top of them typically go very fast. So if this is one that you're interested in, it is in your best interest to be at the shop within the first 10 minutes of it opening, give or take. We have Instagrams if you want to follow us on Instagram. Royalty Soaps has an Instagram. I have an Instagram. Kenny has an Instagram. We're all over Instagram. We love taking pictures. And be sure you do something fun for yourself today, whether that's going out and dousing a little glitter on something. Everybody needs a little glitter. I should leave you guys a link to a book my mom just bought me. I don't know where she got it, but it's called Just Add Glitter, and it has real glitter on the pages, and it's such a good message. It's so sweet. I'll link it down below. It is just now occurring to me that probably most people don't use paper plates for their Thanksgiving feast. Y'all have to tell me down in the comments below, do you use like pretty paper plates like with gold embossing all whatever that you can just throw away very quickly? Or is this something where like an elder in your family has like their best set of china that they pull down for the occasion? Because maybe it's just my family that uses paper plates. Sit back, our class is showing. But I will see you on Wednesday for the next video starting off the holiday collection. And we've got new soaps coming this holiday collection. I have done the same holiday collection-ish for the last 3 years, and this time we're bringing in new designs. We're recreating old fan favorites. It's gonna be a really fun time. So subscribe if you liked the video. And if you didn't, no problem. Go out, find somebody else that you do enjoy. No ill will to you. And I will see you guys Wednesday. So until then, bye for now. Happy shopping!